It was early Sunday morning, around 8 o'clock, and I just pulled into work, the back parking lot, Claro's in La Habra. It's an Italian deli where I work at. So I go and I kick open the door. I'm like, "Good morning, everybody," and it's just my manager Lauren and my coworker Jessica, and they say good morning to me, and, like a normal day, normal Sunday morning. I go into the back room, clock in, I put in my number, and then I go and I get dressed. Put in my work shirt, my apron, So I go outside, I get the bread. I have to open up in the morning, right? So we get bread, we get cookies, we get pastries, we get all sorts of different things. So I get the bread and I put it on the shelves for customers to look at and see what they want. I start making the cannolis, it's an Italian deli, you can't have an Italian deli without cannolis, right? So I'm done with the cannolis, I start counting out the drawers. Each drawer is supposed to have 100, So at that time it's around 8:45. I have about 20-30 minutes before everyone else gets there, all my coworkers get here. So I have time to kill. I've opened up all the stuff for the morning. And it's around 9 o'clock. People start showing up. Angie, one of my good friends, my two other friends, Nikki and Emily, Michael, all of them show up. They start to help me out. And then we're just chilling in the morning. So my manager comes over to me and she's like, "Hey, I want some Starbucks." And I was like, "Hell yeah, that's what I was thinking, Wake myself up in the morning, double shot of whatever." So she's like, "Okay, go get me Starbucks." And I was like, "Okay, I'll drive." And she's like, "Okay, I'll pay for you." So I was like, "Okay, sounds good." So I walk out into the room, whatever, and Angie comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, there's this weird guy out there. He's kind of doing this weird thing with his shirt and freaking out and talking to himself." So I was like, I looked outside and there's no one there. I was like, "Angie, I don't know what to tell you. There's no one there." So I walk outside, get in my truck, and I turn it over. I look to the right of me, and there's this weird guy sitting in the car. It's a white Ford F-150. So he's sitting in the car, and I don't really pay much mind, because he's just sitting there. He has his glasses on. I don't know. It's none of my business. So I back up. I'm on my way to Starbucks, and I asked the lady. I was like, "Hey, this is what I want." I get my manager's order too. I'm not even there 5 minutes, and I'm already out. Because they're really cool. They're cool at Starbucks. You guys been to Starbucks, right? So I get my drinks, and I'm back in my car. So I'm driving down the road, and I pull back into the lot, and I park right next to this Ford F-150. So I look over, and he's kind of how the steering wheel, and you get under it. Have you ever seen those movies where people are trying to start the car? You know what I mean? So he's trying to do that, and I'm like, this isn't right. There's something wrong. So I remember that Angie, she drives different cars. She has her thing with her family. I don't know what's going on, but I call her up and I'm like, "Hey Angie, what car are you driving?" And she tells me that she's driving a Ford F-150 and it's white. So I kind of start to freak out, right? So I'm like, "Angie, you need to get back. You need to come into the back, get the police on the phone, bring Lauren, come in the back." So she does, and I'm sitting there in my car, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to do something." So I jump out of the car, I slam my hand on the truck bed. I'm like, "Get the hell out of the fucking car! That's not your car. You're trying to take her car." So I go up to the window cautiously because I don't know if he has anything on him. So I open the door and I pull him out. I throw him on the floor and I put my whole weight on him so he can't move. He's pretty skinny, he's not gonna do anything. But I have his hands down and I'm holding him down, and Angie and Lauren come from the back around towards the back of the store, and they see me with my my hands on him, and they both she's on the phone with the cops, and Angie's yelling at him "What the hell are you doing? Why are you doing that? Blah blah blah." And this guy's talking to himself, being all crazy and stuff. So I'm sitting there, and the cops show up, and they get me off him, and they're like, you know, what happened, and I tell them what happened, and they get me off him, and they ask Angie if she wants to press charges, and she says no, I just want him to get some help. And that's what happened on my Sunday morning.